What's the first thing we're kind of taught, or everyone's helping us to try and achieve? A life with no pain, right? And how are they going about that? Well, basically they're canceling the whole world out. They're trying to stop anything that would cause you pain. Well, I'm here to tell you that's the problem. The problem with the mental health field is everyone's trying to get you to avoid pain. The answer is in the opposite. We need to become experts in seeking out pain. And I have many ways to prove it to you. The first one is this, all right? This is going to be so obvious, I'll convert you immediately. What does every single CEO, athlete, politician, actor, actress, anybody who's ever achieved anything, when they tell you their story of how they achieved it, what do they tell you? They tell you how they had this incredible cataclysmic event with horrific pain, some sort of problem that they couldn't overcome. It was killing them, destroying their work, their efforts, and they figured out the solution. In other words, it was their pain that drove them to the success. And here's what's heartbreaking about this whole culture of canceling everyone out and trying to get everyone, oh, never make me feel bad and you're the problem and I'm always the victim and you need to change so I never feel bad. What does every single person then say once they've achieved all this success? Oh my God, I'd never want my kids to go through this. Like, did you not just hear yourself? The only reason you're now leading this multi-gazillionaire company, the best athlete, the best musician, the best at whatever you're doing, is because you learned how to overcome your pain. And yet you would never want that for your child. That's like severe abuse. Yeah, I want my child to suffer and never get the answer and live in misery. And so I'm going to make dang sure, see, I started this foundation over here to make sure that kids never feel pain, and therefore they never get the answer. Only I am the only one who will ever have the answer, because I'm the only one who learned how to navigate the pain. But these kids, I don't want ever them to go through it. And that's what's sad, is they don't even realize. Now, that is not their intent. Of course, we don't want anyone to suffer. But that's just not life. That's not real. That's not realistic. It's not helpful. It's not hopeful. The solution to life always has and always will be to conquer our pain. The reason the world suffers is nobody's taught us how. For centuries, we've been taught to avoid it. And I have a pinnacle story that'll prove it's been around for thousands of years, and billions of people have followed this person in this message, and they've missed the message. They've taught it wrong for thousands of years. Now, whether you believe in God or Christianity or Catholicism or any of the religions, doesn't matter. Take this story for the story itself, and it proves my point. And this story is the story of Jesus. What was his life? Filled with misery and persecution. And what was he known as? The perfect human being who had nothing but faith and trust in his Father, the Almighty God. What happened to Jesus? This perfect human being who never made a mistake. Well, after suffering all of that misery, eventually he gets nailed to the cross. And what does he scream out? Dear Lord, why have you forsaken me? Or how dare you forsake me? However the words were said. But do you see what he said in that moment? In that moment, he had finally admitted the truth. Even he didn't believe in his Father. Do you see that? Because why is he questioning? If he has total faith, he would know, oh, pain is good. My whole life's been filled with misery. I trust my Father. He's going to put me through this because this is what's given me the solution, the answer. But no, he didn't believe. And so what did he have to do? He had to have a cataclysmic event with pain on the cross for him to see the truth. Oh my God. The solution was to admit that all along, even I didn't trust my Father. And the second he did, he could give himself to the cross and rise again. And that's the resurrection for all of us, whether you believe or not. This isn't a spiritual message. You can make it if that's what you want, you can make it. But if you're agnostic or atheist, the message is still true for you. The resurrection always comes for all of us when we get to the other side of pain. Yet everyone's saying avoid your pain. It's wrong. You don't get anywhere unless you become an expert in your pain. And until we start teaching this, our mental health will suffer, and it's exploding. Look at what's happening in our mental health. Addiction is on the rise. Obesity is on the rise. Illness and disease are everything's on the rise. Yet we have all these pills and medicine is advanced, yet everything's getting worse. Why? Because we keep teaching, oh, everyone's the victim. Don't make anyone upset. Don't make them conquer their pain. Now, I would never advocate abuse, but much of this stuff is, oh, I don't like that word. You need to change. That word isn't nice. Come on. Really? A word? Whatever you want to call yourself or whatever you want to believe about your life, you get your reality. You get to have it, but we get to have ours too. Whichever side of any argument you're on, everyone gets to have their side, because ultimately you can't legislate fairness. Whose definition are we going to use, yours or mine? Do you see? No one wins. So there's only one solution. Both get to have theirs. Now, I agree. I might find some offensive, but I find them offensive. You may not. So do I get to decide for you? Because if you want to decide for me, that means I get to decide for you. It's not a one-way street. No one said you were God. And no one said I was God. We have to coexist. But because of a lack of emotional health, emotional awareness, because we're emotionally illiterate, we all play the victim cancel culture. No, you need to be different. You need to say it the way I want it said so I don't feel uncomfortable. The bottom line is this. Every person who's ever succeeded, they will tell you the only reason they succeeded and the happiest moment of their life is how they conquered the problem they were struggling with. And yet we're teaching everyone with mental health problems, everyone with emotional problems, the exact opposite. Don't face your pain. Take a pill. Work out. Eat more. Smoke pot. We're advocating. Go become stoners. Oh, you can't have anxiety, depression. All of these things are emotional pain. And we're telling people just medicate it with food, exercise, work, dogs, cats, pot, pills, anything. But develop the skills and tools to navigate their pain. Well, you want to fix this crisis? You want to start getting people to have results? Start teaching them this. How to become an expert. Give them the knowledge, skills, and tools. That's in my book. Now, I'm not saying you have to buy my book. I'm sure there are thousands of other teachers. Go find a teacher that teaches you how to navigate your pain and not avoid it. Don't look at any teacher that gives you an out, run from them. They just want a codependent dynamic to keep you next to them. You need a teacher that's going to show you how to get out of it and become an expert in it. And the way they do that is they will give you the process to go head first and get out the other side and do it with safety and conviction. That's what my book does. That's what my process does. That's what any good teacher does. They don't teach you how to avoid pain. And that's what we're doing as a society. We're trying to create this whole victim society where nobody deals with their pain. And they just say, you fix it. You be different. You change. I'm not going to deal with me. I'm going to stay in denial. I'm going to stay the victim. And I'm going to blame you. Well, that's why all illness and disease, weight, everything is on the rise. We're handling it in the opposite way of what it needs to be done.